Hello and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Breaking news this evening. Manchester United have submitted a €100 million bid to Borussia Dortmund. 80 million initial fee with £20 million of performance-related add-ons. That bid has been rejected. However, Jadon Sancho has removed himself from the Borussia Dortmund squad. It's reported that the reasons for him being missing are due to illness, but tongues are a-wagging. Excitement is now being excitement is seeping through people as this deal really starts to pick up pace. First of all, and this is why it's picking up excitement, and we're going to go into your calls, we're going to go into your comments. The news of him being admitted from the squad was announced before the official bid. Sky Sports and major other outlets have sent reporters to Dortmund since yesterday. They expect more to continue. They expect Man United to go back in again. The reports are with a £85 million sum up front, with the remainder going up to 100 million and add-ons to test the resolve. The one thing here that hasn't happened so far throughout this whole saga is Jadon Sancho showing any signs of trying to force a move. Could, in your opinion, this reported illness be part of that? We want your views. We want your opinions right now. The Skype lines, we're going to open them right from the beginning, right from the top. We want to hear from you right now. Call into the show. Come and give us your opinions. Jadon Sancho to Man United, £100 million bid rejected, but this is not over yet. This is a long way from over. We told you the deal could still go ahead. The 108 million has not yet been offered, but we need to hear from you right about now. It's picking up the pace like we said it would. Over 1,000 people tuning in already. Hit the like button right now. We're going to be here live with you for the next half an hour plus, but we need you to hit the like button right about now. Kevin here, one of our members, says it's happening. And by God, I think it is. It's beginning. We're now starting to see the movement. We're now starting to see the Man United come alive in the market and get these bids in, get their offers in. What's the source? Well, the source about Sancho not being in the squad comes direct from Borussia Dortmund themselves. Sky Sports have reported that the bid has gone in. They are saying it's been rejected. It's made up 80 million up front with 20 million in bonuses. It's unknown if United are to increase their offer, but it sounds as though they will. I'm excited. Are you excited about this? We're going to delve into other areas surrounding this as well. Do me a big favor. Hit the like and share button. On the show now, we've got Cliff Ramsey. Cliff Ramsey, turn down your device in the background, please, and we'll get you on the air. What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I've been following you for a little while now myself, and I just think you're fantastic. I watch all the fanzines. As you can tell, I'm originally from London. I live in Notts now at the moment. I've been a United fan for like 35 years. And I've been listening to you guys. I've been with you guys all summer. You can ask my wife, because every time I come home from work, everything straight onto your channel. And I said to my wife, it's going to happen. And she's like, second Jadon Sancho. And today, I'm absolutely gassed. Reason being, because you mentioned something a couple of weeks ago. We've not put in any bids just yet at all, whatsoever. And then today, as I come home from work, he's admitted from the team. I'm like, that's a bit weird. And then they've said as well, it's nothing to do with COVID. So I think that's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Then I'm thinking, hold on a minute. There's a bid's gone in as well. And I'm thinking to myself, Man United have bid really, really low to test the water. I guarantee you, this time Thursday, he'll be holding the shirt. My opinion.
That's a big prediction, bro. And you know what, Cliff? Do you know what, mate? This is the thing. United are never going to go in with the opening offer going to be at 108 million. I think the next offer will be about 85 up front with, say, again, with 15 as add-ons. I don't think they want to go above 100 million. They'll offer second time around. It will be this offer, that. And interestingly, if that bid works, then the In the Know account was absolutely right. It's exactly what he said. It's exactly what he said they would bid. That's going to be the interesting thing here. what I find, listening to Sky's report, the reporter there, I think his name's James Cottrell or something Cottrell, said that a lot of the German press have come up to him saying, why have you guys come over from the UK? This deal's dead. We don't think it's happening. Where the British press have been briefed all summer that this is the week. And this is what United fans have got to just to have a little bit of faith. This was the week where United, you listen to the likes of Daniel Harris have had on the show. We had Jamie Jackson on the show. He tweeted about the other day.
Thanks, man. Gas, mate.
No worries, mate. Stay on the show if you want, bro. Stay on for a bit and chat to us, mate. Stay on the show and chat. We're going to have KJ on in a minute as well. Stay on with her. We had Daniel on here. We had Jamie Jackson on here. We had Rob Blanchett just the other day say that this was the week it was going to happen. So this is where the real crunch time sets in. I'm not surprised this first bid has been rejected, if I'm being completely honest, because it is 8 million below the asking price and only 80 up front. Let's see what happens. KJ's now with us on the line. KJ, we were talking about this 10 minutes ago on a different stream. What I want to say to you is this. The bid was announced after Dortmund said the players out of the squad. There cannot be smoke without fire here. What are you saying?
This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting more of this to be dragged out a bit more. But it's no coincidence that he's omitted from the squad and then an hour later, boom, apparently a bid has gone in and it's got rejected. If he is staying, you don't take him out of the squad just to reject bids.
Yeah, and people are saying he's ill. I'm really sorry. It's just too much of a coincidence. Listen, man, I'm from the East End of London, bruv. We don't do coincidences where I'm from. No working class man or woman does coincidences. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's no smoke without fire. You don't get admitted from the squad with a respiratory problem. I mean, even just say sick. They're trying to style it out like it's really serious. Oh, but it's not COVID though. What is it then? We saying wrong with a man. He's fine. And this is what the British credibles have said all along. When the bid goes in, Daniel Harris on this show, when the bid goes in, you will see Jadon Sancho turn around and say, actually, by the way, we're 20 million below the asking price. It was 120 million euros I wanted, not 108 million euros. So there's still that way to go. He said that Sancho will do a transfer request or something similar once a bid goes in. So for me, there is absolutely zero smoke without fire when it comes to this.
Have you also seen that these Dembélé rumors are now ramping up as well?
Yes, and at the same time, yes, almost simultaneously, United are going in for Ousmane Dembélé. He's close to joining Man United for bids offers between 50 and 60 million as an example. There's not a coincidence. And this is all to test. By the way, Dortmund might still come out of this. They might still come out of this and say, actually, we're not going to sell. But Man United are now doing everything. The supposed rumours for Dembélé, the SAR rumours have come out. It's 91 million British pounds that have been rejected. So we are still talking about the 17 million pounds to play with here in terms of the bid that Man United are trying to get lower. And as I said, I said all along, they'll try and get it below the 120 because they want the player, but they also want to win the PR war here. They really do. We've got some super chats to go through first, but before we go any further, please smash the like button for us right now, ladies and gentlemen. So important that you do. Elliot here says it's over now. They won't go back in. Let me ask yourself this, Cliff. You know, you've been watching us all summer. You obviously follow Man United closely. Do you think that's it, or do you think Man United will make another submission?
No chance. Listen, I've been ridiculed all obviously because obviously I live in Nottingham now, but obviously how I sound, you're not a true fan. I'm a season ticket holder and everything. So what I'm saying to you is, Jadon Sancho is a player we've wanted all season, and you've been saying it since. And that in the no guy, I think I've already heard it from yourself, even before in the no guy. And what you've always said it's not me who's saying this. I'm just reading what the guy said. Now the guy is so close to what's going on as well. And the problem I have with this is, Terry, is how can it be all over last week, then all of a sudden we bid today? Well, what's the point in bidding if it's just over?
Because it was never over. Yeah.
It's over. Do you know what I mean? The problem I have is I totally agree with you to a certain extent, but I think on this one, Terry, I think United might have to have their pants down if they want to get the player they want, because we've left it so late that the negotiation might be a case of, do you know what? Sod it. Bang, there's the cash.
And do you know what? As long as we don't pay over the 108 million pounds or the 120 million euros, whichever way round you want to look at it, I'm not overly bothered. There's another tweet that I've just been sent. Now, this is from a different reporter out of Spain who has said that Dortmund's Dortmund. Dembele's camp have confirmed the reports that he's close to joining Man United. A deal would be close to around 75 million euros. That throws another massive spanner in the works. If his camp are saying it, what does that mean? What does that mean? We've got Cameron on the line here. Sancho being rejected. A lot of us think that we're going to go back in for him again, but you've now got the Dembele camp saying, no, we're close to joining Man United. Give us your thoughts, Cam.
Oh, man. Why do we have to wait to the end?
Because it's drama. I love it.
I think so. Truly, I think if we don't make the bid that comes at 120, it's just not going to happen. Like we won't, like we won't get him. And I think Ed Woodward overplayed his hand and gave Dortmund too much power here. Like if you always knew you were going to make the bid and you wanted to come out the big boy and be like, I can make the bid when I want, like Dortmund's one of those clubs that are going to use something like this to make themselves seem strong. That's what they're going to.
You're Cameron.
Like they've been loving all the publicity they've gotten from this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It does not go through. They're now going to be able to come out and say they got one over on the biggest club in the world, and then announce us being the biggest club, being like, "Oh, look what we pulled." It's so childish, but unfortunately, Ed Woodward overplayed his hand, in my opinion. So I think if he doesn't put 120 down, slap it on the table, and say there's no add-ons, and so I'm okay with it being staggered, but clearly he's still doing the add-ons on like if he makes balloon, all that. No. They're saying we want 120 M's guaranteed or go away. And unfortunately, if he doesn't do that, they're going to come out the winners because that's what they've made their price. And if there's one thing we can say about Dortmund, they've always got their price. And the other thing is we have to look at it this way from Sancho's perspective now, because look what's happening with Telles. Look what happened with Van de Beek. Sancho, it's on you too now. You want to come to United, you got to say something. At this point now, like,
well, this is the thing.
I'm not saying anything. Though,
Cam, and Cam, this is the point. The fact that he's out of the team, does that give you any hope?
I agree. So I saw that. I saw that this morning. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, wait a second, chest infection. Okay. So I saw that, and instantly I thought something's up. Now, that gives me some indication that he might be trying to push it through. But we need a little bit more. I don't want him to come out and trash the team and skip out, but I want him to say, like, listen, I want to go to United. Because once he does that, all the power shifts. And then United's 100 M bid, that's a big bid. It's not like we're coming in short. Like, we came in with some money. So it's like, once he does that, because you have to look what Telles and these other guys have done. And every other player who wants to move has come out and said, listen, I want to go there. Thiago, whatever. So now it's kind of in Sancho's court, too. The bid's gone in. Sancho needs to just say, listen, I'm leaving if they pay up. So please just, because them saying he's not for sale is what they're trying to hold on to.
No, of course. And Cam, you make some great points there. You really, really do. The Dembele thing throws a real spanner in the works, especially as reportedly he's picked. This is the interesting thing. Like his people have said it. That's coming from AS. AS are regarded as not overtly reliable. What would be great about the Dembele thing? Now, he's not one of my choices because I'm not too keen on the guy. But if you go from Sancho to Dembele, it's not the biggest L in the world. Do you get what I mean?
But here's the bigger question, though. If we get Dembele, do we get better? And I think that's what fans need to start understanding. It's like if we go through from adding Van de Beek, adding Dembele, and adding Telles, did we not get better?
So let me just on that. Hold that thought, guys. I've got to do some super chats. Ashwin here says Terry, he's coming home. David Hunt says Romero just said nothing about 100 million. Sorry if wrong. Another super chat here. It's gone. It's disappeared. I can't see it anymore. I might have to go back up the way. Sorry, another one here says Thiago has COVID. I don't know how true that is or not. Another super chat says the Americans are storming Germany like it's D-Day. I hope so. Well, in a metaphorical sense, I hope you're right. You were going to say something, KJ. Go for it, bro.
Okay, the Ousmane Dembele. As a player, he's absolutely super talented. I'm very worried if we actually sign him, though. He is a player who's got massive injury problems, and we've known this and we've seen this throughout the years, and that's only in Spain. Coming into the Premier League, is he going to be fit enough to stay fit to be worth 75 million euros or how much he's been touted out?
I agree.
Also, his behind the scenes antics. This is nothing to do with I don't think is good enough. It's legit. So many reports and issues have come out with him being unmotivated, unfocused, lazy, distracted. For me, Ollie, I don't think wants that. I don't think he will tolerate that.
Yeah.
Me,
do you know what, KJ? You make a great point there, and we want to put that out to the viewers. Would you be happy if Dembélé was to come in as a replacement? Do you think it's credible? Question I would also ask anybody that's watching that isn't trying to be salty. I'm talking for genuine knowledge here. Is Dembélé looking at a move to another club? Because it could also be that Dembélé is using this Man United Sancho situation, or his team are, to force a move somewhere else. Like there's a team that's umming and ahhing over coming in for him, and it's like, right, well, they know United are looking for an alternative to Sancho, so we'll use his Man United's name. That could just, and it could just be perfect timing, or in fact, Man United might just be saying, you know what, use our name because it could help everybody out in this situation. It really, really could. A comment, another super chat here says, why would you wait this long to bid for Sancho just to go and get Dembélé? That is a great point, Ginger Fury 97. That is, to bid once and then go straight for Dembélé. That'd be very strange, would it not?
I think it's a smokescreen. I think it's a smokescreen myself. So it's cutting. I think it's a massive smokescreen because I totally agree with what the guy said, and I agree with what Cam said. The problem I have with this is, you mentioned earlier in the season that Justin for position, and I think all Ed Woodward has to do to get the fans on side, to get everybody on side, is just put the money they want, and you get them.
Just do it. You know, so this is the thing. If we put in that bid, if it goes out and it's known that United have put 120 M's guaranteed on the table, and then they decline it, that is when you see truly a Jadon Sancho would have to come out and be like, guys, they met your asking price. I don't care about the deadline. They met the price. You told me 120, because the truth is, and I think we all believe this through the summer, was that there is a promise to Jadon Sancho. If the price is met, you get to leave. So if they then go back on that, Jadon Sancho now is every right to go. I'm going on strike.
Yeah, they do. But Man United were never going to go in with the bid in that way, and this is how I see it playing out at the moment. If the Dembélé thing isn't true at all, someone's been really noisy in the background. I'm not too sure who it is. Just try and refrain from that, please. Sorry. You're in this sort of situation where Sancho looks like he's pulled himself out the squad. First and foremost, you then have the situation of the first bid goes in that's rejected. I then think we go back in with another offer of a certain level, and I think it's going to be at least 3 bids. I think the next one will be rejected, and then we'll go in higher again. We're always going to do that because if you go in with the maximum offer and then you find out later that you could have got him cheaper, you can't. You don't want to burn money. I've been giving this example all day. Imagine we said to you like, "Oh, we could have got him 20 million euros cheaper." That'll infuriate fans as well. You have to go in low and work your way up. That is how business is done. But I think Sancho.
Remember,
because if he's actually going, and then
sorry, someone's really messing around in the background. Can you just try and stop that for us? I don't know what someone's doing. It's just really noisy, and the viewers can all hear it. Sorry.
If we have told them now, and Sancho's camp has come out and said, listen, they're looking at us for 75 million, you might actually lose out on 120. Like, the truth is, them saying they expect to get more than 120 guaranteed next year, that's ludicrous. Like, it could happen, sure, but it's how unlikely is it, especially when you look at a team like Barcelona, who's been burned so many times now and won't have the money. Then you look at Real Madrid, who we all know who their target is. It's Mbappe. Never mind this Liverpool nonsense. They wouldn't got Jota for a reason. It's going to be Mbappe. So once Barcelona's out of the picture, once Real's out of the picture, where are you getting 120 million guaranteed from? So I think that's where the Dembélé links are coming in to try and force their hand to be like, we'll accept 100 million or so.
Also in that Dembélé deal, Dortmund have a sell-on clause. So they would get a percentage of either the profit or the actual fee itself. So why would Man United do that? You know what I mean? In this situation, if they're doing this for PR, you know what I'm saying? Why would they actually be like, actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go from a different target and actually help you out even more by getting you money.
But that's like I just said. It's a case of is this more Dembele's team using Man United like a lot of people do as a kind of we use the word smoke screen or as a diversion tactic, whatever it may be, to try and get their move, because maybe, like which one of us has really been following their news massively? I would say none of us. We don't know what they're up to, what moves they're trying to get done, and that could. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's the one for me.
But the thing is, I haven't seen him linked anywhere. I'll say that.
But that's because are you following that news? Like him being linked, unless he's linked to a British club, we're not, or a gigantic move to another big club. It's not really going to be.
That's fair.
Sent down. However, I know a lot of people keep messaging about Thiago having been tested positive for COVID-19. He's self-isolating. Fingers crossed he's well and he's healthy. And we're really sorry to hear that. We've added Rack to the call here. Rack's coming on the line now. What you saying, bro? You there, Rack?
Oh yeah, hey man.
How you doing?
Yeah, you know what? Finally, it looks like at least we'll know soon, one way or the other, what the hell's going on with this deal. Because as a interested bystander, I'd like it resolved one way or the other, and I'm interested to see what our rivals have up their sleeve for the rest of the season. I don't think this Dembélé thing is a smokescreen, because the smokescreen only really affects Dortmund if Dortmund want to sell and want to get Sancho. Say, look, if United meet our price, then we'll sell you. But they don't want to sell. So in which case, if United putting out some PR about Dembélé is not going to scare them, because they don't want to sell in the first place.
It depends. This is what I love about this deal so much, is a lot of the journalists that I've had on this channel, the work for The Guardian and all sorts of other publications, have all said the same thing each time. Dortmund do want to sell, but just at the right price. And that's what I find interesting. That again, I know, Rack, you can believe whatever you want to believe, so can everybody else. But it's this element of some people, it's like that bit of information always bypasses people. That Dortmund, like a lot of credible journalists, Jamie Jackson, Daniel Harris, Rob Blanchett, all these guys are like, no, Dortmund want to sell. They just want to sell for the right amount of money. But no official bid has ever come in. I think Man United know, and we only listen to the media. Man United know what they need to bid to get the deal done. They were never going to go straight in with that first bid. The reason this feels so protruded is because a lot of journalists have told us all summer that we've been bidding. And it now turns out we were being lied to by the media the whole time. We hadn't put any bids in. So do you get where I'm coming from? So this is when it started now. The negotiations start now.
Do you guys find it weird, not weird or interesting, that Fabrizio Romano has said nothing in all of this as well?
Well, this is the problem. The problem the European credibles have got is that I know part of their story is true. It bid the 108 and it goes through as an example. But a lot of them have kind of made out like United have put bids in the past. Now it's turning out they haven't, and there's almost an element of we've got to get our story straight here, because I think they're being fed from the German side of things to be the PR, the mouthpiece for the German side. I really do. And no doubt the British press are being fed by the United side, and they want to look better in this. And that's where you get with the difference with rivals. People that love Man United will listen to the stories that will make us look better. And rivals, or people that hate Man United, and that's a lot of United fans, we're going to look for the negative side of it. Why have we waited so long? Well, maybe we were advised, and we'll only know by the end of the window if we were right or wrong, that if you leave it this long and put the pressure on right at the end, player pulls out of squads, you put the bids in frequently in the last week, you may get him cheaper than the 120 million they wanted. If that's the target, then I back it, because why would you not want to save money? But let's see what happens. If we end up paying 108 mil, then I'll be frustrated that we waited all summer, because we might as well just bid it. If we get him cheaper, even by £5 million, it's celebration time for me. We also added Terry Tibbs. Oh, Terry dropped off. He's not here.
What I would say is, if say for example Sancho doesn't go through and United get Dembélé, if you get Dembélé, who's not in, who's got can stay fit, United have a very, very, very good player, like a world-class player, because he's that talented. Dembélé is that. He's equally talented. He's equally as talented as Sancho, in my opinion. But the question mark is the injuries and obviously his recent record. So
Dembélé is such a massive, massive risk in terms of injury and mentality. Those are the two things.
I think the injury is the more of the worry. I think the mentality. I think if you look at Barcelona for the last 4 years or whatnot, 5 years, it's been worse than United,
awful.
basically. So it's kind of hard for it. Like, you look at a kid who went in there and he was touted to be the next guy, like him beside Messi.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Neymar stuff starts happening and he kind of gets pushed. Then they bring in Coutinho right after, and it's like, well, what about me? And then Griezmann comes in. So the difference is, if he came into the United squad, you're the guy on the right. There's nobody challenging you. Like, there's nothing in your way. You are going to be put on a pedestal. You're going to get the love, because a lot of players, like, I'll use Pogba as an example. All Paul Pogba needs is love. He just loves being loved. He wants respect. He wants the fans to cheer him on. He wants the crowd to scream his name. That's what he wants. He doesn't respond well when he's being heckled or being trashed in the media. He's not that type of guy. He doesn't have the skin for it. But he's as we know it, he's our best player on his day, without a doubt. I think Dembélé in the Barcelona setup was brought in and then pushed kind of the side, being like, oh, by the way, yeah, we brought you in, but like, we're still it's Messi's team. Just never forget that. And I don't think he was mature enough to deal with that. I think if you bring him into a team where it's like he's part of the setup, who knows? And I could be wrong. He could just be a bad guy.
Yeah,
but I think those things get overblown. And you're right. When we saw him come back and play for Barcelona, I remember before he got hurt those few times, he's electric. He's an amazing player.
Yeah, I hear that. On this Sancho deal, I want to ask you guys a question, rivals and United fans alike. I know we don't have faith in Ed Woodward, and I know people ridicule a lot about him, but they must have an idea that it's doable to get the deal done with this approach. Or do you just... And let's not just come out with a stereotype. I nearly said something really bad then, which would call to beef. Let's not come out with a stereotypical... I'm looking for clout on the internet answers here. Do you really think everybody associated with this deal at Man United end is dumb enough, really, to leave it this long, bid nearly 20 million euros below the asking price, knowing it would foul, and then not going back in for him or anybody else? Do you really think they're that stupid?
I think United have come into it with a strategy. And maybe they've been given some encouragement somewhere along the way. I don't know who from, but obviously there's something that's motivating them to follow this strategy as opposed to others.
Yeah,
so that logic dictates that. Otherwise, otherwise it makes more sense to try and get it done early. But if Dortmund and other clubs are in debt or have lost money this season, then the closer you get to the window, the closer when that window starts closing, where you can bring in more money to kind of fill that hole, then inevitably clubs are going to want to try and do that. But who knows, right?
Yeah. I'm on the side of, I think they've got an idea and they've got a plan. It's more of, are they good enough to execute it? You know what I'm saying? Do they actually have the ability to do the football side of business and and that's all. I think that's for me, as much as I call them pagans and beanheads and all these things. Like, my main issue is that I've not seen the ability to run a football club well. So that's where the doubt comes in.
Yeah, I think, and that's where I make you right. It's this element of, well, they're doing it for a reason this way. They've been advised to do it this way, but it's the credibility over the years. If this was Liverpool's approach, and if you change everything just to Liverpool, Dortmund, Sancho, and you waited all summer and you put your first bid in now, everybody would go, they're going to get... Everybody's reaction right now would be, I know it's been rejected, but they're going to get him, aren't they? Because you trust Liverpool. I've got a super chat here from Prem Prodigy. That says, Dembélé wants to stay. The coach has him in his plans and has said that he isn't for sale. United have denied any rumors that they are interested in him until today. Then Sancho is not in the Dortmund squad. Yeah, these are the facts I'm asking. This is where the viewers have such an important part in the show. I get the banter comments and I get the nonsense and everything else that comes out, but those are the kind of pieces of information that I like to receive, because clearly Prem Prodigy has done his research and he knows what he's talking about. Dembele's move away from Barcelona has been rejected at every hurdle all summer, and then on the this is why it smells like something for me. At the same day that Dortmund pull out, or Sancho pulls out of the Dortmund squad, it's the same day that we have a £91 million bid rejected, and it's the same day that supposedly Dembélé is close to joining us. There's too many coincidences there. Like I said earlier.
It makes it even funnier. Apparently, Dembélé didn't want to leave, but Ed Woodward convinced him that's a good idea. That's where...
that's where the story falls apart.
So like, okay,
that's where it falls apart. But so this is the thing. To answer the one question you're talking about is like, would we have more faith if this was something we pulled off or did? It's like I need Ed Woodward or somebody to come out and truly explain to me why it would have made sense to keep doing this year in and year out, wait to the end, like, because maybe there is, like, I don't know, a dividends thing, or we lost so much money because we paid all of our staff during COVID that we had to make sure we weren't paying Sancho throughout the summer, something. Like, I can't sit back and understand the rationale to not bringing in players early enough to get them integrated into the squad when you know you're in your most important year with a new coach. Well, new coach, sorry, you've been there for 3 years, but going into Champions League, you have a tight schedule. I just can't think from a footballing sense, even financially.
I have to disagree with you on one thing there, Cam. I can smell it. The financial element, it makes sense. The problem that United have had, and if you listen to what Everett speaks about, it makes so much sense, is we've taken the advice from the wrong people in the past. Where I have a little more faith is we've done absolutely impeccably when it's come to doing deals under Ollie. So we got £12 million shaved off the price of Harry Maguire. And equally, the reason the deal took as long as it did, and everybody always omits this from talking about the Maguire deal, his agent, who is a very close friend of the Maguire family, was due a large bonus from Leicester if the player was at the club past a certain date. And it was literally a day and a half, 2 days after that, the Man United's bid was accepted. So that's why they waited so long to put the bid in. It did cause one problem, that City came in and it meant we had to pay the money up front because he had another club willing to do exactly the same thing. But Man United's deal took that long for those reasons. We had £12 million shaved off the price, and his agent wanted his bonuses and the club respected that. Otherwise, generally, you have to then pay those bonuses yourselves. That was a bonus of a circa £4 million. So we saved £16 million on that deal. That's good business. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, £10 million. Over £20 million we saved on Bruno Fernandes. We've just picked up Donny van de Beek for £35 million. It looks like we're going to pick up a player of Telles's quality for £17 million. We were not doing that kind of business in terms of shaving off that level and that percentage of asking prices any time before Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came on board. That's why I have a little more faith this time round that the club know something that nobody else does, or they've been informed something. I would be shocked if Ollie was sitting back and allowing Woodward, for instance, to use the same, say, advisors or intermediaries that have messed up all the deals in years gone by. I really think Man United have changed their approach. If you get where I'm coming from, and I think you make perfect sense pre-Ollie, but since Ollie, the work we've done has been fun. The only reason the Dan James deal got delayed by a further 3 weeks, and that would have been an even faster deal, not that that's worked out, is because his father passed away. The business has been a lot better. But all these things never get spoken about because it doesn't fit the narrative that we're bad at doing transfer business. Never, never, never. And as I said before, I've just got a little more faith than usual. Look what we're about to get for Pereira. We have to. Isn't that a signal that we're not panicking and we're doing business better? Or maybe I'm just completely maybe I'm deluded. Maybe I am. But that just makes. How are we doing that? And then in the other end, listening to Coco the Clown for advice. It doesn't make sense why we would do that, in my opinion.
Terry, you got a lot of faith, bro.
It's not about faith, bro. It's about looking at the evidence in Ollie's era. It's not about that.
I agree with the Ollie era. I completely agree with you on that. And this is where the only thing I don't agree with is, for instance, the Van de Beek deal. I don't think that had anything to do with us. I think that was Van de Sar.
But yeah,
the fact
and do you know what? I get that, bro. But
the Andreas Pereira thing, okay, you know what? We're right. If we're going to be hard on these guys when we are, there's got to be props given at times. If this becomes true, but I think everybody's forgetting it's an option to buy. They don't have to buy it.
Yeah, it is. But equally,
still a great
brother, if you end up with £15 million for him, that's a good. If we'd have been told 15 mil, you'd have said good. The point I'm making is, and I stand by it, is, we know they've been bad in the past. They've been operating that little bit better. I get, the Van der Beek one frustrates me as well, though, because we're acting like it's a negative that we have a good relationship with an old player. Like some of the reasons that City have got deals done or Liverpool get deals done, Liverpool's deal with Bayern Munich, one of the reasons that was so easy to do is the clubs have got a fantastic working relationship. But yet that's seen as, that's because they're a good club. Man United have a good working relationship with Van der Sar and Ajax as a general rule. We've had a good relationship with Ajax for about 15 to 20 years, and everyone ignores that. We have a good working relationship with Sporting Lisbon, but again, everyone discounts that because they want to make everything we do look bad, and I always will fight back in those circumstances. Let me do a super chat, sorry guys, from Christopher, who says, I'm just enjoying all this, even as a Chelsea fan. Better players in the league means a more entertaining league, exciting transfer deadline coming up. It's certainly going to be exciting. Everyone who's tuning in, please hit the like button. Really important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. Sorry, Cam, you're about to say something, mate.
No, I was just basically saying, like, I completely understand the kind of shift in understanding of, like, if we can, what's been happening the all year. What I will say is one thing all you've done is something no other manager has done, is come in, look at the squad and been like, you're not good enough. Bye. And it's been very clear. People say he's this weird nice guy persona they say you have him. Like, he's been out in the media basically saying, I don't care if guys are happy. There's guys that aren't going to be here. I'm going to be successful. Like, he's not that nice. Like, he's nice in the sense of he's not going to run his team through the ground.
Just an update, guys.
Fabrizio's tweeted. Go on, KJ. Yeah. Update us, mate.
I say, so Fabrizio's tweeted saying, during the last contact, Borussia Dortmund told again to Man United they won't accept any bid less than 120 million euros for Sancho, which then contradicts what they're saying that he won't leave. Still same position. Man United were ready to make a new bid around 90 million euros, but it would be refused. BVB are still convinced they can keep Sancho this season. And then there's a report coming out that says Barcelona have denied negotiations with Man United about Dembélé. United might explore a loan option, no transfer fee this summer. Anything can happen in the coming days, as per reliable Gerard Romero. So, yeah.
I mean, look, what I would say about that tweet from Fabrizio, as you say, so many contradictions in there with what's been said. They want 120 million euros, no less. Well, that means he is for sale then. So stop saying, oh, we won't accept anything.
It's been promised, guys. It's been promised.
Yes, no it has. And on
I totally agree.
And on the build up to that, which is also obvious to me, Man United are going to test their resolve. Okay, I know you want 120. We'll bid 90. The next one might be 100. Next one might be 110. Because they're going to try and shave money off of it, which is completely normal. Liverpool did this over £3 or £4 million. Why would Man United not do it over tens of millions? You're sorry to say this, you're an absolute numbskull if you don't think that it's right for Man United to do that. Because every club does it. Only idiots believe it's stupid business to try and get things done cheaper. I take points on board. Should have done it earlier. Could have done it earlier. But if Man United are advised, you could shave off £10 million, leaving it late. Plus, they might have had to leave it late to secure the players going out first. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense indeed.
Sorry to interrupt again, guys. But there's another tweet. This is popping up. There's another tweet that's come out saying that Man United sources insist they haven't made a bid for Jadon Sancho. That's from.
Wow. Well, this is also what happens. So this throw this from another angle on this. Look at Fabrizio's tweet again. Man United were ready to make a new bid of around 90 million, but it would have been refused. So this is how semantics and information come out and cause problems, as you would say. Sky Sports get hold of a report that Man United were going to bid 90 million pounds. By the way, he's put 90 million euros, but he might mean pounds. He might have hit the wrong sign, but they didn't put it in. Sky then twist that into, well, it's still a rejection. If they know it weren't going to, it's how you want to present these things. Does that make sense? It's semantics, a lot of it. And then, of course, just Chinese whispers. And that's, by the way, that's what I love. It's what I love. It's what I love.
What it means is it's coming. That's what it means to me. Sorry to cut in, guys. I've waited a little bit aside. All of us to say quickly, to tell you about this. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday, I came home from work and I had the Cottrell guy on Sky on TV saying, all over, don't bother, no point me being there. I come home from work this evening, and he's back again saying, oh, by the way, a bid's gone in. So we've just been speaking about last 10 minutes. It just showed you. I believe, and I agree with Cam, it's been agreed. There's been a deal to go set, agreed. Man United and Dortmund both know the figure they need, and it's going to happen at any moment. That's all it is.
Yeah. Do you know what I find amazing? What I find amazing here is I love watching people's tweets where people are like, People are like, sorry, I can't. I'm so frustrated. Why would United bid below the asking price? Why are they trying to haggle? Are people that dumb that all clubs haggle? Why would that infuriate you?
Wow.
Go ahead, man.
So Fabrizio's tweeted again. He says, Man United are also considering other options as reported. Sancho is always the first target as Bruno was on last summer. Ousmane Dembélé, Man United would only consider a loan deal. The player always refused to leave Barcelona. They turned down Liverpool FC and Juve bids on their last 3 months.
Liverpool bid for so Liverpool got rejected. Or is that is that going to be the narrative? Well, that's what I love about it.
Alone.
Do you think that's why they didn't get him going for Werner? They thought Dembele was better suited. They thought they might be able to get him.
But then wouldn't you? You know what we said there about not wanting him because of attitude problems. I know you put on that KJ. If Klopp wants him, would that not tell you that he's got the right attitude?
Yeah, or at least he can kind of.
You see how Liverpool fans will now be like, oh yeah, like he must. Klopp wanted him. It must mean that he's as well behaved as Jesus.
Let's stop before O'Shea comes on and starts singing Thiago Culture again.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been watching the All or Nothing Spurs documentary recently.
Oh, that's
yeah, and actually, when we're talking about late bids, one of the things I watched it yesterday, and Daniel Levy was chatting on it, and one of the lines he said really puzzled me, but it does it tallies with what Spurs do. He said the deal he said, and I quote, "We all know the deals only get done in the last week," and that's Daniel Levy saying it. But the fact of the matter is that obviously, if you think the deals only get done in the last week, then you're going to behave in that manner. So, and that's how Spurs generally tend to act. But other clubs do it differently. So, I mean, perhaps Man United felt it's better to do it that way because things are going to be clearer in the transfer market. Maybe they want to do their business that way for other reasons. Who knows? I mean.
Well, like I've said all along, we had to balance the books this summer. There's no doubt about it. And if you're waiting for your bids to come in for players to go out, you're certainly going to have to wait for your bids for players coming in to happen, especially with how much money we've hemorrhaged. A comment here says, Terry, you had to go at Liverpool for haggling over £3 million, but now you're defending Man United. Listen, bro, you've always got to haggle. Hang on, guys. Don't twist my words. I said it would be embarrassing for Liverpool haggling over £3 million and then a rival coming in and stealing them away from them. Not they were wrong to haggle. If Man United were up head to head right now with Barca, City, Liverpool for Sancho, and we were in the lead of the race and we were haggling over a few £1 million, that's when it's different. Please don't embarrass yourselves. You know, your mum and dad are now wishing that they used contraception after you messaged that, bruv. Such a silly thing to say, man.
You know,
come on, man. Come on. Don't embarrass yourself, bro. Don't embarrass yourself, bro.
Don't burn like that, Terry. Don't burn like that, bro.
I would even go as far as to say that you've got to stick to your price, regardless of what other people do, because you only really know what you can afford. You only really know your own finances. So, regardless of what other people are doing, you know, sometimes you might need to push the boat out. But as a general rule, you need to stick to pay what you think you got to pay. I think that's when one of Liverpool. We lost out on Salah. First time around, we lost out on Salah. We lost out on Teixeira. We've lost out on a few. We lost out on William. We lost out on quite a few players. But then at least you set a standard.
Bruno.
Forward. So people will pay. People realise
Ornstein's updated, guys. Ornstein's updated, and he's confirming Man United thoughts as for Dembele as a loan option. So he's confirming the loan option angle. And Jadon Sancho and the talks of blah blah blah. No club-to-club bid for Sancho yet. Liaising right intermediaries.
Do you know what I find with the credible written journalists? A lot of the credible written journalists almost love destroying Sky. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They almost love ruining Sky on that, like massively.
We said the other night, didn't we? Like Sky are like 2 weeks behind everyone else. Like I don't know who actually goes to Sky anymore.
Well, but I even find printed newspapers are like that now. Like my dad, he's still old fashioned, like he's 65. He'll sometimes ring me, and go, "Oh, you've heard the story?" And I'm like, "What story?" And he tells me something, and it's not even transfer related, just a story about a footballer. And I'm like, "We did a video on that 3 days ago, Dad, on my channel, and you only it's in the paper today." It's mad how behind the mainstream media is. Like, we go live straight after this. Someone here says Terry is such a narcissistic person. Yeah, a little bit, bro. Little bit. Definitely a little bit, bro. We've got a super chat here from DSE UK, who says, hi, Terry, big fan of TFT. Thank you, my bro. He says, can you touch on where 80 plus 25 million... Sorry, 80 plus 250 million bank loan you talked about 4 weeks ago. Why now balance the books? Here's to 200k subs. I don't quite know. You mean the bank loan they took? So Man United did borrow. They already had about £100 million in cash. They also took out. It's sort of a cross between a loan and an overdraft. I'm not too.
It's 140 million credit facility.
Yeah, it's called a credit facility, but it's a bit like a loan. It's a bit like it's like a gigantic overdraft essentially.
Yep.
United have drawn on that money. Some of it will be to sign players, but a large part of it was to help the club cover the 140 million pounds lost by Manchester United because of the pandemic. So it's been split between those areas. That's why United have waited this long to start really motoring on with these signings, because quite simply, you've got to balance the books. We should have been balancing the books every single summer since 2013. And if we'd done that properly since 2013, we wouldn't be having to balance the books with such granular detail right now and to such small levels, because we'd have money. But we don't have money because we've hemorrhaged it in the past. So let me just say this to Man United fans again that don't get it. If you look after the pennies, the pounds take care of themselves. If we'd have been behaving this way since Fergie retired, we wouldn't be in this mess right now. We can't keep behaving in a bad way just because you desperately want a player right now. You start as you mean to go on. You set the groundwork now for the future, because this season is the Man United's most important season. I'm looking forward to the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. And if we don't start behaving better as a football club, we'll continue upon the road to ruin. No doubt in my mind. No doubt at all in my mind. And anyone that can't see that, I respect your opinion, but I'll say it straight on my chest. You are absolutely wrong. Completely wrong.
100%, Terry. 100%, mate.
Agreed, and that's why I personally think at this point, if bids are coming in, and you're right, if this whole Sancho chest infection is kind of the first step of him like wanting out, the big step for us to get in the right direction again is players making it clear that they chose Man United, because we've had that kind of in the past where it's been we got Sanchez because of money. People try and throw out, oh, you got Maguire because of money. It was like, no, Maguire said it. He's like, I was happy to go to either City or United, and then United came in for me, and I was happy to go to either. So for me, I think we have to get past this point of, like, look what happened with Thiago. I don't think Liverpool knew they were in for Thiago. I think Thiago was like, I want to go to the Prem. They won the Prem. I'm good enough to pick my team. So where I want to see us moving forward in the next few years is somebody like Sancho, for instance. If he chooses to come to United have another good run this year. All of a sudden, we're back, because then players are going to choose us. It's no longer going to have to. We're not going to have to go to teams and say, "Here's what you're asking." It's like, listen, your player is asking for out, and he wants to come here. So.
And this is why the Dembélé news is a nonsense.
I don't disagree. He wants to stay in Barca.
He wants to stay in Barcelona, and we as a club are trying to avoid these mercenaries, these players that only want to come in because the only reason they want to be here is because of money. Di Maria didn't even want to move to England, but he chose money.
No chance.
You know what I'm saying?
The thing was with Barca. Barca going, they'd be throwing players out early. Look what they've done with Suarez and everyone. They'd move him on. So he's not moving. I don't know where that story.
Dembélé deals. Dembélé is not happening. The problem I have with the situation, and what I want to say to you guys, I'm absolutely gassed to be on it for the first time. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're probably,
I think that this deal with Sancho is, we knew it was going to have to happen, and the problem that people have is it's moved so fast today that we know it's inevitable. And the problem we have is people like anti-Man United, and I agree. Don't get me wrong. I've sat there all summer going, hold on a minute. They got Werner, they got Havertz, they got this, they got that, and we got debunk. What's going on? And you've got to have faith in the club. And I agree with what Terry said. Sometimes I'm not a financial guru, guys. Do you know what I mean? I'm a football fan. I love my club. I love Man United. I'm not a financial guru. But sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture and think to yourself, there could be something else that's happened, and just have faith in them.
Yeah, and I think where you start to condemn and do an autopsy is October 6th. and maybe 7th and 8th when the truth comes out. And then, but then still assess the situation, because look what happened with Bruno. Now, I wanted him last summer, but we ended up getting him cheaper. I think we asserted ourselves. We showed people that we're not going to be walked over anymore. You do that for 2 or 3 summers running, and then deals start becoming easier, because it's like, there's no point going to war with Man United. They always win. And if we use, and that's what we need to get back to. And we can't allow ourselves to continue behaving like we're, sorry, bruv, if you're watching, but like Leyton Orient or someone, like nice, good club, but we're Manchester United. Act like it. And I'm glad that we now are. I've said it before, I'd rather not sign Sancho than be ridiculed and ripped apart and made to pay. You know, if we had paid like 108 million lump sum, I'd be fuming. How dare you? No, I would from a. I would from the sense of how dare you do something that no other club in history has been made to do. It makes us look weak, and I don't want to look weak.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that.
Do you think the what was it, 90 plus 20 the rumors were? Do you think that's just something that was suggested, not an actual bid?
It's too close to the valuation. So what I'm thinking is, as Terry said earlier, is you won't go in with full like 120 million euros, whatever they want. So I think it's almost like a benchmark kind of thing, isn't it? If you think about it. So what we'll do is we'll test the result by putting in a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll save face by saying, "Oh, we gave them 120 million euros, but we did negotiate."
I hear that.
To save face.
There's a comment here that said you've been beaten in 3 battles in the last year. What 3 battles for players of Man United?
He's talking about Haaland, Bellingham.
No. We won, brother. We won. And do you know how I know we won, right? Think about the Pogba deal to Man United. That deal, no one's ever spoke about it, right? That deal quite literally saw Juve get their pants taken down. They sold a 90 million pound player and only got 40 million pound for him, because the rest of the money went to Mino Raiola. Now imagine Man United did that, right? Imagine we bought Haaland for 20 million pounds and then we only got 50 million for him and he's worth 150. We would be laughed at for eternity. It would weaken our position for years to come in the market. We did the right thing by walking away and rejecting that notion. Same as signing mercenaries. Who wants another Angel Di Maria in terms of the situation, not the quality of the player?
Never again.
If anyone wants that, you're not a real Man United fan. I'm sorry. Another fake. Right. You're fake. You're fake. Got a super chat here says, Terry, why don't you just loan United? Why don't you just loan United 8 million from the bank you work at to build on the Sancho funds? If you were a true fan, you would. Bro, I'd lend them the money for about 0.5 over base. I'll do that right now. Woodward, give me I'll do a good deal, Woodward. We'll do 0.25 over base with annual reviews. We can do that. No sign-up fee. I won't charge you any sign-up fee at all. All we need is a little bit of security to mark against it. And I'll take it, we'll mark it against Carrington or something like that. That's what we'll do. Come see me, bro. I'll lend you the money. Not personally. A financial institute I'm close with. Let's go, United.
Question, boys. So we got this report of we haven't put the actual offer in and we haven't made the offer yet. When do you think this real offer that will get
Wednesday night or Thursday? I've been saying it for 2 weeks, so I can't change my mind now.
Why are we waiting though? That's what I'm curious about. Like they said this week, just do it early in the week so you can haggle the whole week. If you kind of put yourself.
They were talking about. I think Terry touched on the other day. I only caught the end of it. Something to do with is it the financial quarter or something for them, Terry? I don't know what it is, but I'm not. As you can tell, I'm not a finance guy. But apparently, it goes on the books for the next year. Is that right?
Potentially, I think that may have come up in terms of everything. Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it a lot. So there's an element of that. There's also how much, if you're giving out 80 million cash up front, which I'm not sure if we are doing, but say you are, you'd rather keep it in your bank account for 3 months than give it away because you earn on that. It's unlikely. Well, we're gonna use our own cash for that as well. It'll be the lending facility that we use because we'll earn more with the level of it'll be cheaper to use that. So
the amount of stuff been mentioned are 80 million, but it's not. It's just I presume that's 80 million guaranteed, not necessarily 80 million up front.
No, it won't be. It will be 80 million paid over. It's probably going to be 3 years on this deal, but it'll be 80 million over 3 years, and then the performance-related add-ons, and that's why they want higher up front because there's no guarantee. The one thing there's no guarantee with Man United is that we're going to qualify for Champions Leagues and win titles. So,
but also, I mean, if you think about it, because Barcelona, they made a deal with Dortmund for, I don't know, 120, 130 million for Dembélé. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of their add-ons haven't been met. So I don't reckon Dortmund have received all of the funds from Barca. So maybe that's also why Dortmund are saying, you know what, we don't want to get in a situation where we're only getting 100 million of 140 million. We want, you know, these add-ons to be, you know, relatively realistic, and we want a big chunk of it guaranteed.
I think this will be the last. If this goes, no matter what happens, actually, no matter what happens, this will be the last time we deal with Dortmund for 5 years.
Straight up.
I don't think we're gonna go through it again until Bellingham's ready. They ain't gonna be bubbles.
Guys, there's the United Muppeteers. I know a lot of people watch have said we've been told the 80 million plus 20 euros offer is not the bid we are expecting them to accept, nor recently put together. So it's basically saying that isn't a real bid. Our real offer will be upwards of £100 million. Which is when you go back to those early days of the In the Know account, right? And I know a lot of people are like, no, it can't be real, rare. I'm actually going to go find the original bit of information that he sent me because I want to get this right. I want to say 85 plus 25.
You said 85 plus 25. I remember.
Yeah.
It was 85 up front, 25 the add-on.
And that's probably going to be what it is. And it's, guaranteed as opposed to, or if they are performance related, they'll be more individual based rather than team based.
Like 25 games or something.
Well, yeah,
after
25 games or after this amount of goals or whatever it may be.
That's probably going to be what it is.
I'm not sure whose system that is in the background. There we go. But listen, everyone who's tuned in, we really. That's very strange. Why am I getting playback for? I don't know where that's coming from. I had to just mute that down for a second. Bear with me 1 second, peeps. But yeah, I think for me, it's going to be an interesting next few days. And we're going to keep seeing these things arise as well. That's the interesting point with all this. We're going to keep seeing these things pop on our screens now over the next few weeks. And there's going to be very little that can be done to sort of stop it. Do you get what I mean? It's going to be very, very interesting indeed to see over the coming weeks what happens. Boys, I appreciate you all coming on and having your say. I really do. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye. Cheers, gentlemen. Thank you.